am Verna Smith, and welcome to this edition of Issues in Focus. It's the day after the snowstorm, and Washington, D.C. is under the weather. Can you believe it? Yes, nature is speaking to us and across the country. All of us are digging out after a huge snowstorm, but the issues continue. And on mainstream, we still have no jobs. In rural America, still no jobs. In the hamlets of this country, still no jobs. On the side streets of America, still no jobs. So yes, after this president made his State of the Union address, and after Senator-elect Scott Brown was sworn in and is now Senator Scott Brown, I think Washington got the message. Mainstream wants the Democratic leadership in Washington to take charge and rise up to the moment in terms of giving us what is absolutely needed: jobs, jobs, and more jobs. Will it happen? Well, the president, as I said, got the message. The president spoke to the nation since. He has said that, barriers are still in place. He can't get the other side to work with him. But they too realize that Scott Brown's victory is not necessarily a victory for them. America is mad because America feels, yes, we bailed the banks out, we bailed AIG out, they are giving out bonuses totaling $100 million, and we are still trying to ask for pennies to start our new businesses. We are still waiting to ask for pennies to pay the bills that we must every month. We are still waiting for pennies to say, listen, we want to get ahead as Americans. We want to get ahead as Americans as we talk the American dream. We want to start working again. So yes, the president has spoken to Congress and he said, I need a bill. And right now we are waiting to see what happens. I say for a whole week because of the storm, Washington is under the weather, so it's in a standstill. Nothing is happening in Washington. And I say to the president, why waste a crisis? In the words of Rahm Emanuel, why waste a crisis? We have heard that the president is trying to get some of his key people in place and the Republicans are blocking them. Use this recess to bring them in. It is a standstill. Somebody has got to move to do something. So today we are going to be talking very briefly. As I said, it's still about jobs. It's still about what's happening on Main Street. We are hearing that the president is softening up on healthcare reform, and I say that's a big mistake because if nothing happens in terms of healthcare reform, the administration would have wasted an entire year for nothing. Not good enough. I say to the president, draw a line in the sand, send Congress back to say we have something to do, take the leadership and say we need to get something done. Because all those people, the 20,000 people who got laid off in January, most of them are going to be without health care. And topping all of that, we keep saying that the health care system is not sustainable as it is. Something must be done. So again, we are talking jobs, jobs and more jobs. We are talking, the president has asked for a jobs bill from Congress. We are waiting to see if that will happen soon, as in yesterday. And of course, people are saying that probably after all this, there will not be a bill as we talk healthcare reform, and I say that's a great mistake. So join the conversation. But how can I forget Sarah Palin? Palin had a chance to be the keynote speaker at a Tea Party conference the other day, and the person who criticizes the president on using a teleprompter was caught writing notes in her hands, as in crib notes. It would have been so much more professional for the former governor of Alaska, who majored in communications, to realize that teleprompter is a part of delivering the message as professional as you can. Crib notes, that were from the days of the classroom. That said, I won't go any further on our former governor of Alaska. The more I see of Sarah, the more I'm saying I don't know what Sarah is about, but we'll see what happens with that. But for today, we're talking jobs. My advice to the president, get on the back of Congress take the leadership, because those of us who are out here in mainstream, we just have had it up to here in terms of not seeing anything happening in our direction. And the answer to all our problems is in jobs, jobs, jobs. Again, join the conversation. Let me hear from you what you think the president ought to be doing. Stop by my blog at www.zipinpolitics.com www.zipinpolitics.com. Join the conversation. I want to hear from you. The president wants to hear from you. Let's get the message to Washington that for now, we the people, we the voters, we on Main Street want answers, and the first place to start is in jobs and more jobs. Talk to you next week. This is Verna Smith, and this has been Issues in Focus. Talk to you.